Armed with taser stun guns, the moment police move in to arrest killer Danyal Hussein.
Mate, you're under arrest. Come out. Come out the address. Keep walking towards me. Keep walking towards me. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Hands on your head. Stay where you are. Face me. Hands on your head. Stay where you are. You're under arrest, all right?
He is, it's clear, completely unfazed. A cold, callous young man who just weeks earlier murdered two sisters in a frenzied knife attack. Part, we're told, of a bizarre pact with the devil. This is one of the last images of Hussein's victims, Bibaa Henry and Nicole Smallman, a selfie taken by them minutes before they were murdered. The sisters had been with a group of friends on the 5th of June last year, celebrating Bibaa's birthday. As the friends drifted off home, Bibaa and Nicole stayed on in the Frenzied country park, dancing late into the night, until coming face to face with their killer, who stabbed them dozens of times. Their bodies were discovered almost 2 days later by Nicole's boyfriend, as family and friends launched their own search for the missing sisters, frustrated by the slow police response. After the police watchdog this week criticised that initial response as below standard, Scotland Yard Commissioner Cressida Dick offered an apology to the family. The victim's mother said the time for apologies had long gone. It is yet another deeply uncomfortable moment for the Met boss.
This brings more pressure on the Met and on the Commission's position. The way they dealt with the missing person report and how they investigated it was insufficient. They've apologised for that. But week after week we're seeing more pressure brought on the Met. Different apologies coming out. The Commission's position under threat all the time. They've got an awful lot of work to do to rebuild trust and confidence in police in London.
Can she survive?
I think she'll survive for 2 more years. I think she's determined to see this job through.
Do you have any injuries?
Yeah.
The wrists from the cuffs?
No.
Oh.
In police custody, Hussein still had injuries to his right hand, deep cuts he sustained while stabbing Bibaa and Nicole.
Oh, is this the interview?
No, that's a question. The injuries on your fingers. What happened there?
Detectives pieced together his movements on the night of the murders. This is him arriving back at his father's house near the park. His blood-stained trousers removed, the injured hand tucked into the jacket tied around his waist. The blood from that injured hand was found all over the crime scene. This is Danyal Hussein in an Asda supermarket in the days before the murders, buying the block of knives he'd go on to use in the attack. And in a search of his mother's home, police uncovered a far more sinister aspect to this crime: satanic symbols in his bedroom. And nearby, a handwritten letter. It was a deal with the devil, a promise to kill 6 women every 6 months. It was signed in his own blood. In return, he believed he'd win the lottery and have better luck with women. Search teams even found receipts for lottery tickets purchased in the days after the murders. It's not known why the sisters were targeted. This is Bibaa and Nicole in a local co-op buying food and drink shortly before heading to Frenzied Park. Tragically, they may simply have been in the wrong place at the wrong time when Hussein discovered them. As horrific as these murders undoubtedly were, for the sisters' family and friends, there is the added trauma, not just of the initial lacklustre police response, but in learning that 2 officers who should have been guarding the scene were arrested and then later charged with taking selfies next to the bodies. Those 2 officers are due to appear at the Old Bailey next week. Their lawyers have indicated they intend to plead guilty. But for now, Danyal Hussein is beginning life behind bars for the murder of Bibaa and Nicole, 2 sisters who'd simply been relishing life and celebrating their freedom from lockdown. Mark White, GB News at the Old Bailey.